Hello and welcome to this video tutorial of how to answer the basic questions in an interview. I'll be giving you some examples along with answers as well as some tips. These are basic questions. They can be asked in any interview. Depends on what position you're applying for, or depends on the company, or depends on the location. If you're in a different country, they might ask you the similar questions but in a different format. So we are going to cover basic questions that are being asked in almost every interview. So the first question is, the most common question is, tell me about yourself. Mainly, I would ask you to define what you do or explain any of your past experience relevant to this role. I would recommend you to mention 3 of your biggest strengths. For example, I have been in the customer service industry for the past 5 years. My most recent experience has been handling incoming calls in the high-tech industry. One reason I particularly enjoy this business and the challenges that go along with it is the opportunity to connect with people. In my last job, I formed some significant customer relationships, resulting in a 30-second increase in sales in a matter of months. Also, my real strength is my attention to detail. I pride myself on my reputation for following through and meeting the deadlines. When I commit to doing something, I make sure I get it done on time. What I'm looking for now is a company that values customer service, customer relations, where I can join a strong team and have a positive impact on customer retention and sales. I'll highlight it again. Practice. Practice in front of the mirror, in front of your friend, in front of your family. The most important thing for me in an interview is the confidence. How confident you are is going to make it or break it. Language. If you have a language barrier, if English is not your first language, simply use the basic words. Make sure you choose the right words. Again, I'll highlight and ask you to focus on the confidence. How confident you are will either make it or break it, because that has got more to do with your language. How confident you are is more important than anything else. And I would ask you to practice this question in front of your family members multiple times. If you practice more, you're likely to succeed in your interview. And this is the most basic questions asked almost every single day, maybe millions of times, because there will be millions of people going for an interview in different parts of the world, and they will be asked to tell about themselves. Please don't tell them about your personal life, what you do in the weekend, and stuff like that. Make sure you only include what's necessary, what's going to make a good image of yourself in front of the interviewer. So present yourself really well. Now we will move on to the next question. What are your strengths? You will often be asked, or it could be different questions. What are you great at? Something like that. I would recommend you work on your strengths. Again, you are the best. You are the best asset to you to yourself. Most of us know what we are great at and what we are bad at. We're here, we're gonna discuss what you can present to make yourself get through the interview. And that would be, what are your greatness? What are you good at? Recall what you did best in your past role, what you're capable of. Remember, you are competing against a lot of other candidates who are going to be looking at exactly the same role that you are looking at. So you will be looking at the bullseye. For example, over here we're going to discuss I'm good at building relationships. In my past role as team leader, I have brought down the complaint level to zero by developing great functional relationship at different levels with staff as well as customers. I'm good at time management and has never been late to work in past 2 years. Also, I have great communication skills that enabled me to increase sales by 5%. I would like to go out and speak to other businesses about our products, give them my business cards, and get their contact details to follow up later. Again, your confidence is the key. If you are not confident, the interviewer is likely to point you out on that. They can easily catch you on that. So make sure, again, as per the first question, you need to be really confident in what you're doing. Now we will move on to the next question. What are your weaknesses? So again, a really tricky question, but you need to be able to answer this really well. All of us have weaknesses, regardless what industry you are in or what you're doing or how old you are. It doesn't matter. All of us have weaknesses. So you need to be trained. You need to train yourself to answer that question. And again, it's really important how you present yourself. What the recruiters are looking for here is how accepting you are and whether or not you are trainable or not. My recommendation would be reading the job description and correlating to what they are looking for. So you can go through this example. If you're looking for a sales role, your weakness could not be your weakness could be you're not good at closing the sales quick enough. So you can explain it in a different way as per our example here. Also remember that you don't mention anything like that you get angry easily or you are not organized or you hate your previous boss or anything like that. Make sure you choose your words wisely, carefully. Now we will move on to the next slide. So another most common question that get asked in any sort of interview is how do you handle stress? So you need to be prepared enough to answer that question again. Practice makes us perfect. No one is perfect. But again, how equipped you are to handle the stress, you need to be able to describe that. Example, I work better under pressure. I have found that I enjoy working in a challenging environment. As an admin support in a big retail business, I work well under tight deadlines and multiple projects. I find that when I have to work on a deadline, I can produce some of my best creative work. So it's up to you how you want to say it, but make sure you don't mention the issues that you have created in your previous role. Don't mention that you get stressed easily. Don't mention that you don't get along with people at your previous role. Make sure you present yourself a positive person, a person who get along with everyone, and even under the stressful circumstances, you come out with great results for your business that you have been working for. Now, the next question. Do you like working in a team or alone? So again, we are discussing the common questions. These are not typical. We will go into typical questions later on in different video, but these are the basics. So one of the basic one is whether or not you like working in a team. Regardless of the job, I would recommend you make sure you are prepared to work in a team. you would always have someone working along with you. You're not working for yourself. You're going to work for someone. So make sure you're prepared to answer this really well. And important is, how do you get along with your workmates? Example, you can say, I enjoy working in a team because teamwork makes the dream work. That means everyone is responsible for their task and get the job done much faster than done by an individual. So we will move on to the next question. Again, the key is practice. Make sure you practice for this question as well. So this is one of the most significant and important questions that get asked almost in any industry or every interview that I have been or I have hired people. Why should we hire you? So to answer this question, I would recommend you make a script and practice before interview. As I mentioned previously, practice makes us perfect and no one is perfect, but we can aim to be. Again, in your little script that you're going to make sure that you mention your previous industry experience, your experience in performing certain duties, your technical skills, your soft skills, your key achievements, your awards, or your education. Make sure you structure your pitch so that it's about you. Keep it short and simple. Again, as I mentioned, practice. Make sure you're confident and enthusiastic so that they can believe in your abilities and commitment. So there is an example. Obviously, I would recommend you thank the interviewer for asking that question and always appreciate that this is a great question. And also at the same time, make sure that you make the answer based on your technical skills, your industry experience, and what you are good at.